All right, we got Canelo Alvarez versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Okay, look, the big deal surrounding the fight right now is the weight. How in the hell is Chavez? How is he going to make the 164.5 pound catch weight? And by the way, this is a new Canelo weight. I mean, we had, his previous catch weights, and this is a completely new one. Although he couldn't make middleweight, but now he's at, above, or going to fight above middleweight. So look, what I did, I went back and I kind of gathered up all the weights that Chavez has ever entered the ring during the weigh-in and on fight night. So let's get right into it. And the reason I wanted to make this video, because I'm hearing a lot of channels out there and a lot of people that just have just bad information. And it is hard to find his weight, so I will give people that. But I've been looking into it, and I had a lot of them, kind of memorized from the past. Okay, so look, I mean, I don't want to go all the way back to the beginning of his career, but I do want to start out by reading this article here. Hang on, let me give you a slideshow. I want to start out by reading this article. It was right before, actually, it was during the first Brian Vera fight, I believe. Okay, so let me get started with that, and then I'll go into my own information. Okay. All right. When former middleweight titleist Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Brian Vera met on September 28th, Chavez failed to make weight and then claimed a hugely controversial decision in the action-packed fight. So what they're talking about is during the Chavez and Brian Vera fight, the original fight, it was a robbery. Chavez lost. Okay, so now the rematch is on. Chavez and Vera will meet again in a scheduled 12-round super middleweight fight on March 1st at the Aladome in San Antonio, Texas. By the way, the Loma Salido fight was on that undercard. The contract weight for Chavez Vera 2 is 168 pounds, okay? Right on the super middleweight limit, according to Aram and Vera promoter Arlie Perioli of Banner Promotions. If Chavez fails to make weight, he will forfeit $250,000, $250,000 of his purse to Vera. So what they're saying is, if he can't make that weight, it's going to cost them money, kind of like with the Canelo situation. The purses were not disclosed. The payment would be in addition to whatever fine Chavez would be, given by Texas regulations. Okay. The first fight, which took place, and this is an important article, it's why I want to read it before I get into my video. The first fight, which took place at the StubHub Center in Carson, California, was also contracted at 168 pounds. However, Chavez, son of Mexican legend Julio Cesar Chavez Sr., is notorious for his trouble making weight and told his handlers the week of the bout he would not make 168 pounds. Okay, so he's got a week before the fight, and he's like, I can't make the 168. Okay. That led to a deal between the camps to raise the limit to 173 pounds, giving Chavez what was perceived to be a significant advantage over a smaller Vera, who received an extra six-figure payment on top of his $275,000 payday. Chavez made $2.5 million in the first fight. Okay, and this is quote, I told Chavez that he's destroying his credibility with this weight nonsense, Aram said Monday. He said, if I had to, I could make 160 pounds, said Chavez. So he can't make weight. He can't make super middleweight, but he's claiming to Bob Arum that he could easily make the 160-pound middleweight limit, but that's fucking nonsense that he said that, according to, this is quote, Bob Arum. He can say whatever he wants, but it doesn't mean shit to me unless he makes the weight. I told him, make the weight, let me see it, so I'm not shooting my mouth off about Chavez and his ability and this and that. I'm from Missouri now, show me. So Bob Arum just really pissed off, saying, I'm tired of you not making weight, having these weight issues. Okay, so basically they had to renegotiate, and, I think that's where it all started. Okay, so now look, let's go back to, I kind of debated where do we start. Okay, let's go back to Sebastian Zabik, okay? Again, the fight was middleweight, 160 pounds, okay? Chavez came, now he made weight, but he came in 180 pounds, 20 pounds over the weight limit. And I'm just going to throw a few of them out there before I get into 2012. Okay. Okay. What about the Rubio fight? Okay, Chavez weighed in at 159 and a half, but entered the ring at 181 pounds. He was 21 and a half pounds over. Okay, so this is kind of the same thing Canelo does. Okay, like I said, during the Rubio fight, the Rubio Chavez fight, he weighed in 159 and a half pounds, came in at 181.20. So the dude put on 21 and a half pounds overnight. Okay. Peter Manfredo fight, came in or weighed in at 159 and a half pounds, came in at 179, 19 and a half pounds over. My God. So the Rubio fight, he came in 21 and a half pounds over the limit. Okay, he made weight. The Manfredo fight came in 19 and a half pounds over. Okay. Sebastian Zabik came in 20 pounds over. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with Marco Antonio Rubio. Okay, where he came in 21 and a half pounds over. That was in February of 2012. Chavez weighed about 181 pounds now that was on the HBO unofficial scales. Okay. And at that time, look, he was outweighing his opponents by 15, 20 pounds. I mean, and I just went over a few of them, okay? Now, I was going to get into that fight. Let's go ahead and jump to Andy Lee, okay? Now, this is 6/2012. Andy Lee said, now, again, overweight. Andy Lee, after the fight, after the interview, and I watched this interview today, Andy Lee stated that, he couldn't handle the weight, couldn't handle the power. He was too heavy. He was too big. Okay, but again, he made weight for that fight, but he's like killing himself to make this weight and balloons up 20 pounds overnight. I mean, this is crazy how this guy is just like fluctuating from, right around middleweight limit and then boom, up to damn near 200 pounds when he's not fighting, okay? And when he is, he's like 180 in shape. And he looks like by the way, he looks like a skeleton at middleweight. I mean, at like 160 pounds, he looks like a little skeleton. But he said, Andy Lee said he's too big, too strong. I can't handle the power. And then we all know Chavez stopped Andy Lee in the 7th round, had him on the ropes. And I think the judge, the referee like waved the fight off, like no more. Okay, so now moving to September 2012, the Sergio Martinez fight. Okay, now I can give you the time because I just watched it on YouTube. They got on the scale at 3:42 p.m. Now remember, he was with Freddie Roach during this fight. Okay, Martinez weighed in exactly 159 pounds. Chavez came in at 158, but he looked freakishly small. I mean, he looked like a zombie, like a skeleton. I mean, it was kind of disturbing to look at. He was so just small, okay? And I just read that article about Brian Vera. Now, remember the first fight, okay? They had to add, basically he couldn't make the 168, so they had to add. They had to renegotiate and pay Brian Vera to make the fight at 173-pound catch weight. Chavez weighed in at 172.4, Brian Vera 171.2. Okay, so just let's get to the rematch, and then I want to go over all these weights at the end. I know I'm going really fast here, and you might have to rewind the video, okay? Now, the next fight was, again, Brian Vera, 167.5, Chavez, 167.5, okay? So, that was at the super middleweight limit, so yeah, he made weight during the rematch, March 2014, but the original fight, or I might have that backwards. I'm sorry. Yeah, the original fight, he did not make weight. They renegotiated. In the rematch, he did make weight. Okay, so, and like I said, I'm going to go over all this again, but I just want to kind of speed through it so I can back up and kind of, just make it a little bit more simple to understand. Okay, now, April 2015, the Fonfara versus Chavez fight. We remember this fight. I mean, Chavez lost like every minute of every round. Fonfara came in at 171 and a half. Chavez came in at 171 and a half, and the fight was at 172 pound catch weight. So he did make weight for the Chavez fight, but he looked like hell. Okay, Marcos Reyes. Okay, he didn't make weight on that, but he was like half a pound over. Okay, it was a 170 pound limit. Chavez Jr. was 170.4 or point .8. I've heard conflicting weights. The actual weigh-in, the guy called out 170.8. But every article I read, it says 170.4. So he was 4 to 8 ounces over. Okay. Reyes 168.4. He paid Reyes off, and the fight went on. Okay. Now, I have kind of a shocker at the end of the video, okay? Some big news that you probably know, or maybe you don't know, but let me go over things one more time before I get to that very important thing I want to tell you guys, okay? So, like I said, let's go back to 2012. He weighed in at 159.5 pounds, came in at 181, 21.5 pounds over, okay? Before that, Sebastian Zabik came in at 160, weighed in at 160, came in at 180, 20 pounds over. I mean, you don't pack on 20 pounds for nothing. He's packing on 20 pounds because he needs to, because he's too damn skinny at that weight. And my point is, this is back then in somewhat of a prime Canelo, or a prime Chavez, a prime Chavez. How is he going to make this weight now? I don't see it. And if he does, like, he's going to look like the Walking Dead. I mean, he's going to look like a little skeleton like he did back then. Okay. The Andy Lee fight, again, he was just really big in that fight, put on a ton of weight. And after the Marco Antonio Rubio fight back in 2012, Chavez would no longer get on the unofficial scale. So it's hard to really know what his fight night weight is after, because he refuses to get on the scale. But like I said, before that fight, we know he was coming in 20 pounds heavier overnight. To be accurate, 27 hours later. So when you weigh in, like they weighed in, say for the Vera fight, the Martinez fight at exactly 3:42 in the afternoon. 27 hours later is the actual fight. So in 27 hours, he's putting on 20 pounds. He's literally putting on 1 pound per hour, almost, pretty close to a pound an hour. Okay. It's incredible. I mean, and look, when you're in the ring with a guy that's 20 pounds heavier than you, I mean, they have a better chin. They're harder to handle. You get wore out quicker. I mean, it's a lot to have a 20 pound advantage on another guy. It really is, okay? But now, if you recall, kind of before I get to the kind of the bombshell at the end, okay, Freddie Roach, when he was training Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. During the Sergio Martinez fight, he said Chavez wouldn't show up to the gym. He wouldn't take the fight serious, okay? And Freddie Roach actually went to his house. They said they moved the couches like around in the living room to make like a makeshift boxing ring so they could like work the mitts and train Chavez. I mean, what a spoiled little fucking brat. I mean, you got Freddie Roach, okay, a Hall of Fame trainer, like I could just see him in his car, like, oh shit, I got to go over to Chavez's house and, get his fat ass out of bed, and I hope he's not high, I hope he's not smoking weed, go over there and, okay, we got to make some furniture, move some shit around and make a boxing ring to get this motherfucker to train, okay? I mean, could you imagine dealing with that? I mean, this is what Freddie Roach had to deal with back then, okay? And remember, at the same time, he's telling Bob Arum, well, I can make middleweight. Okay, and then the following day, the guy can't even make super middleweight. So, coming in damn near at light heavyweight at the weigh-in, all right? So, all right, okay, now, well, by the way, like I said, the Chavez-Dominic Bridge fight, he did make weight. That was December 2016, okay? But I don't want to get into that. So here's my problem. Here's the bombshell. Okay, so you got all of these weight issues and and he has two failed drug tests. The DUI back in, what was it, 2002 or 12? I don't remember. Dude had a DUI back then. The failed drug test, the smoking the weed, the pot, we all know that, right? All these problems Chavez has had. Now, during the bridge fight, he's working with Mimo Heredia. I don't like that, okay? And we all know who Mimo Heredia is. I mean, he's like the boogeyman in boxing. Like, if you are a legit boxer, you don't even want to be in the same city as Mimo Heredia. Not the same, why are they working together? And it's odd to me that they're working together and he all of a sudden made weight. So I don't like that. And not only that, who is testing for the Canelo Chavez fight? Who is it? Vada, USADA? Who's testing? Okay, I don't know that yet either, and I'd like to find that out. But I don't like that Mimo Heredia is currently working with Chavez Jr. He worked with him in his last fight in December of 2016, and again, they are working together. So now I would think Golden Boy Promotion, they have enough sense and enough business experience that they would test unless they're fighting dirty themselves, and they don't want to bring in any type of testing agency because maybe, who knows, maybe Canelo's dirty. But it's just odd. You don't partner up with Mimo Heredia, the biggest PED pusher of all time. The most well-known PED pusher. Banned from the Olympics, a master chemist, his father, a master chemist, and he basically said, he could create any kind of PED that couldn't and wouldn't be detected. You just simply change the formula up a little bit. I mean, this guy, he's a master chemist, okay? That's why he made millions on selling fighters and athletes illegal PEDs, performance-enhancing drugs. So who is testing? VADA, USADA? I don't know, but it doesn't even matter. Mimo Heredia, like I said, shouldn't even be anywhere near your gym, not on the same block, not the same city. I'd have that guy just banned immediately. So that's a little odd to me. Okay, but so yeah, I mean, what do you guys think? I mean, how in the hell is Chavez gonna make 164.5 pounds? And I just went over all the weight issues he had. And even when he didn't have a weight issue, he was packing on 20 pounds overnight. And then on the flip side, how is Canelo? Look, same thing with him, okay? You go back to Angulo, Irizarry Lara, James Kirkland, Miguel Cotto, Amir Khan, all catch weights, okay? The Liam Smith was 154.5 pounds. So, okay, forget that. But again, all catch weights, and then Canelo packing on that extra weight overnight. And now Canelo is going to jump up to 164, but really I guess it's not a big deal because we know Canelo is coming in as a light heavyweight on fight night, so maybe maybe they can do. I just don't see how these guys can move up and down like that and not tear up their body or their metabolism. I just don't see how they can do it. I guess they have a team of doctors and shit. I don't know, but yeah, I wanted to clarify the weight issues, okay? The last time, and here's how I will end the video to kind of put it into perspective for you. The last time Chavez weighed anywhere near the middleweight limit, or 164.5, was back in 2012 against Sergio Martinez. Every fight after that, like I said, the Brian Vera, okay, here I got it written down right here, the Brian Vera, he couldn't make weight. Came in four and a half, maybe 5 pounds over, couldn't do it. Okay, but then in the rematch, he made, he came in at super middleweight, 167.5, and he had to kill himself to do that. So Fonfara, same thing. Had weight issues. Reyes, had to pay the guy off, okay? And that was at 100, and the Reyes fight was 170-pound catch weight. Okay, so think about that. Back in 2015, which is what, 9 months from then until his next upcoming fight, or it's about a year. No, wait a minute. No. It's about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's about 9 months. So 9 months ago, the guy couldn't make 170 pounds. Okay, think about this, people. I'm sorry. Let me back up. That was in 2015. But back in 2015, he couldn't make 170. Okay, now for the Dominic Brits fight, again, coming in way above the weight limit that he's going to weigh in for the Canelo fight. My point is, how is he going to do it? I mean, I get confused looking at this crap because it's just none of it makes any sense to me, guys. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't know why he would even agree to fight at such a low weight. And I tell you, if I was him, what I would do, and I was talking to a friend today, and I'll shut the video down after this, okay? I was telling a friend earlier, I said, okay, all right, if I was Chavez, I'd come in like a light heavyweight, pay the fine, because, I mean, look, this is going to be like one of the biggest fights in Mexico. It's going to be huge, whether we like it or not, whether you like it or not, whether, the Mexican Americans like it or not, the fans in Mexico, dude, they're gonna buy this shit up. They're gonna eat this shit up. And Canelo has a huge following over here, with the Mexican American fans, and as well as Chavez. They both do. So the fight's gonna be huge. My point is, Chavez is gonna make a shitload of money on the back end, okay? On the back end, on the pay-per-view end, on the sponsors, the gate. I don't really know what the contract says. I'm sure he's not fighting for a flat fee. I mean, he can't. Not if it's going to be a mega pay-per-view event. Point is, I would pay the 10 million, come in 10 pounds heavier, and beat the shit out of Canelo, and still make money on the pay-per-view and the gate sales and all that good stuff. That's what I do, So, and plus, I mean, if you're Chavez, Senior Chavez Jr., you're not hurting for money. Why not? Anyway, guys, what do you think about this weight? And if you wanna look up any significant picture, just Google like Sergio Martinez Chavez Jr. weigh-in. Okay, or even the Brian Vera is another good example of what Chavez looks like, when he's just completely drained. Or shit, just go back to the Marcos Reyes fight, and that was at 170 pounds. I mean, that was in 2015. About a year and 3 months ago. He looked like a bony little skeleton at 170 pounds. I mean, he looked like a little crackhead skeleton. So how's he going to drop another 5.5 pounds? I mean, they're going to push this guy in on a wheelchair with an IV sticking out of his arm. Anyway, guys, Counterpunch Boxing, we are out.